All right, so we have 10.4, addition and subtraction of with like denominators. So the one difference between addition and multiplication is in multiplication it didn't matter if we had the same denominators. In addition and subtraction we have to have the same denominators. This whole section is dealing with ones that have the same denominator, so they should go very quickly for you. So when you look in here, if the denominator is the same, you bring that denominator straight over and you add the top and the bottom. 4m plus 5m gives me 9m. We always simplify. 9 can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And I get 3m as my final answer. Okay, again, we have same denominator, so I don't have to worry about the like denominators. They are already like for us. We add across the top. They're both x squared. 4 plus 6 would give me 10x squares. I can't simplify anything because I can't take anything else out of here. No matter how I do this, I can't get a plus 2. So that is my final answer. Again, we have common denominators. We add straight across the top. 3 A's and 7 A's make 10 A's. I can divide both the top and the bottom by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I get 5A divided by 2. All right, you'll notice that they have common denominators. So I know I leave the denominator alone. And I add straight across the top. As I'm adding, I'm going to kind of organize in like terms to see if that helps me. I only have 1x squared. Here's a negative 4x and a positive x. And one thing you can do is kind of cross them out as you use them. And a positive x. And then I have a minus 10, minus 18. I'm going to collect my like terms. So there's only the 1x squared. Negative 4 and positive 1 is going to give me a negative 3x. Negative 10 and negative 18 gives me negative 28 over x minus 7. Now when I'm seeing that, when I see that squared symbol, it makes me wonder if it can be factored. And if it's factorable, then I probably might be able to get this out of there as well. So let's see if we can factor it. Get our box going. X squared in here, minus 28 here. We need a negative 3. So I start thinking about what times what equals 28. But when I subtract them, I'm going to get a 3, negative 3. Well, 28, I get 2 and 14, 4 and 7. Ooh. If this was a negative 7 and a positive 4, I would get negative 28 and I'd get negative 3. Let's see what happens. 4 and negative 7. So these two share negative 7. This is an x squared and an x squared, so these two share an x. These two share an x, and these two share the 4. And in this box we get negative 7x, positive 4, and when I add negative 7 and positive 4, I get negative 3. So now on top, instead of what we had before, now we have x minus 7 and x plus 4. And now you can see there's that x minus 7. X minus 7 divided by x minus 7 is 1. So my final answer is x plus 4. All right, now we're looking at subtraction. A little bit different when you have subtraction, not much. Common denominator still in play, so we just move the common denominator over. This time, we do 3a and we do minus this piece, minus a minus 4. Now, we got to do our parentheses and clean that up. 3a, remember when there's a minus, we treat it like it's a minus 1 and we distribute that negative 1. So minus 1 times a, we have two minuses, minus 1 times minus 4. 3a minus a negative times a negative is a positive 4 over a plus 2. Still looking to see if I can clean that up any. 3a minus a would be 2a plus 4 over a plus 2. I can factor a 2 out here. So this would be 2 times a plus 2 times 2. 2 out. So I'm going to write this over here. 2. And I'm left with a plus 2. And that's what I had on the bottom. So a plus 2 divided by a plus 2 is 1 times 2 gives me the answer of 2. Again, we're subtracting. Common denominators are good to go. M minus 1. We subtract straight across the top. 4m plus 5 minus 2m minus 1. Now, I didn't really have to write these parentheses because there's nothing in front of it, so we'll just drop those. But here, remember, it's like a negative 1. We're distributing that negative 1. Negative 1 times 2m minus 1 times negative 1 all over m minus 1. So we have 4m plus 5. Negative times a positive is a negative. 1 times 2m is 2m. Negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to collect my like terms. Here's an m and another m. So 4 minus 2 is 2m. 5 plus 1 is 6 over m minus 1. I look like I can factor the top. I'm going to factor it just to see if it helps me any. 2 times m plus 2 times 3. If I take that 2 out, I'm going to put it over here, get it ready for me. M plus 3. And on the bottom we have m minus 1. And we can't do anything with that. So we end with that as our final answer.